welcome back to Power Shell Garage. I'm Alex.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Brian, behind the camera.
Today we're working on the 72 C10. The day has finally come to put this LS in, and by in, I mean, you know, all this has to come out first, and then maybe look at the LS in month or 6. Right now, the truck is as original as it was. It looks like the front end's been replaced at some point. The engine is not original, but it's been in there for still 30 years, so we're just gonna call it original. Truck actually only has about 87,000 original miles, so it's in decent shape, but the engine's already not original, and it's ready to go. It's got head gasket on one side, all the valve seals are shot. And instead of fixing it, because why would you do that? We just went ahead and got a new motor, rebuilt it entirely, which you've probably seen in some other videos, might be up here in the corner, I don't know. Over here? You'll see, it's a little high. Once that engine's ready, well, sorry, that engine is already ready. We're gonna put that in. I don't know what we're gonna get done today. First thing, this clip's gonna come off, radiator support's gonna come off. We got some help from other YouTuber, Paul C10K, CK10, I don't know. Paul something. He helped, we'll link it, it's fine. Paul showed us on video how to get this front end off. We're gonna start with that. Get all the fluids drained, the engine out. What else do you want? Start by taking off the hood.
You do the top one first or bottom one?
The bottom one? It's too long?
Yeah.
What do you do with that big extension?
You put it on there. Now it's too short.
That's too short.
Here.
Oh hey, this one's just right.
You should be able to use it as a wrench too.
That's crispy.
Take it all the way up.
Yeah.
Now is where you have to be careful
Yeah,
when you
it's
start
already
moving the other one. So this is not a light hood.
Okay. You guys want to do this?
So probably like get your hand back here to hold it.
Okay.
And as you take that last one out, you'll take the weight. And then Brian will have the weight, and we'll just bring it this way.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah.
There. Yeah, my dog.
Break them free first and then.
I got a wrench. I'm ready whenever you. Or do you want me to do my side first and then your side?
Guys, do you have that rope free at least?
No.
Break it free.
Yep, it is. It's alright, it's still in the slot.
So you have a strong possibility of pinching your hands.
Alright, just be wary. Now just pick up on it with your hand until you feel it move forward in the slot.
Oh my god, that's heavy.
Yep.
And
You
then
good?
hit it. If you're
I mean,
sure.
enough. Oh, it's out, yeah. Snag it. Alright, you good? It's about. Just throw it too. Alright.
Yeah. Problem.
Oh. I'll come over there.
You guys got it?
Good?
One hood.
Good.
It's secure.
Good enough. Success. So I'm certainly no mechanic. But yours looks different than mine.
Yeah.
It's okay, Nick. Everybody's is different.
They're roughly the same size.
Title of my sex tape. Time to do some sketchy shit. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm still on the first one.
Need some help?
Do better.
No, it's just, I've been turning it for a long time and I finally got it.
That is
What?
kind of long.
What? Why are mine this long?
Yeah, it's got a little.
Once again, Alex's is longer. What the hell?
Did you want to compare size?
Huh. Well, that holds new.
I would like to point out that he was more successful with the shorter one.
For the record.
Like I was saying, the first step is to go ahead and remove that bumper. Now that your grill is still attached at this point, like ours is, firmly attached. Then you take out the bolts for the grill and the hood latch, and the grill should just come right out easily since the bumper's not in the way anymore.
Oh, just like you said, Alex.
Sorry. Good thing we took that bumper off first.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been stupid to try to do it a different way.
Yeah. I don't know who would try to do that. We're idiots.
Idiot! Oh. Washers?
Washers.
Washers? Do they all have black washers?
Just those two did.
Okay. No reason to
I mean,
do that.
3 lock washers are better than no lock washers.
That's a Nebraska thing. You gotta say washer. It's the car wash.
My grandma used to
Bolts,
say that too.
bolts have washers. I don't know, is it a Midwest thing? Nebraska thing?
Absolutely.
Alright, so now that that grill's out of the way, a couple things we have to remove to get the core support off. Of course, the transmission cooler needs to come off, and that's going to be a big bloody mess. The AC evaporator is going to come off. This AC system is a dealer aftermarket from the 70s, so it's done. There's no pressure in here at all. If there was pressure, I know you would properly take care of that contents and not just unhook the hose and let it out. And then we need to pull the radiator as well, get that fluid out, and then there's wiring that runs across. Of course, that will all need to come out as well. So, get to work. Got a new transmission cooler, a True Cool, 40,000.
40,000.
40,000.
Not as good as the 50,000 I hear, but it's a pretty good unit.
That's apparently GVWR, gross vehicle weight rating, 40,000, which is like an F550.
Oh.
But it's not even big enough for an F-150. But this truck's only 3,000 pounds. It doesn't need, 3,400 pounds. It does not need any gigantic transmission cooler. This hose clamp is broken.
Oh.
It's not.
So,
Check this out. So when you loosen your hose clamp, the only way you expect to see is that the screw just comes completely out.
well, actually, I thought I remember seeing that in the option list on this car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that this is how hose clamps work on the in 72. And then you kind of just get in here and just, stab your friend. He comes over to help with your LS swap project and run him through. Ready for mess?
Huh. That was gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't know if this is actually a transmission cooler. It looks to me like an air conditioner condenser.
Sure does.
Because it's got these external loops.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like the air conditioner condenser does. But it has barbed fittings. And of course you would never use barbed fittings on an air. Oh. No reason to look into that.
No, that's fine.
This has got to be the jankiest air conditioning system I've ever seen. There is not a compression fitting. Take that back. There's a compression fitting on the compressor. But that's it. And it just goes straight into a hose bar. And all the air conditioner lines are put on with hose clamps to really keep that pressure in.
So why doesn't it work?
Yeah. It did work for a little while. We put some approved refrigerant in it. But it leaks. still missed the bucket.
Well, this being a bunch of nerds doing automotive work, it's much like using a USB port. You have to try it 3 times, even though it can only go in one way.
And then you eventually just jam it in the Ethernet port, because it fits in there perfectly. Call the help desk. It's not working. Triggered? Triggered, Matt? Then your help desk will call your top escalation team and go ahead and let them know that the whole entire system's down. Triggered, party of one. Triggered, triggered, party of me. That's tightened. Why is this tightening?
Did you set it that way?
What kind of idiot did that? Trade it.
Got it?
You might know these holes. They're pretty self-tapping. These are wood screws.
Oh, okay.
They're not metal, sheet metal, self-tapping screws. They're for wood.
That's called use whatever you have at arm's length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put this in our kiddie pool.
He's not kidding. We had a cracked, free little kiddie pool that was in his neighborhood, and that is making a great place to store all of the messy stuff coming off this vehicle.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. If you're interested in an air conditioner from 1972, dealer aftermarket, let us know. It's powershellgarage@gmail.com. That's our handle.
Are you not putting it back on though?
No, but I am gonna say this. Because it does work.
What?
It's capable of working if it were charged. If. Big if was charged.
Next on Power Show Garage, Nick stabs himself in the hand with a screwdriver.
We're zooming in for this. So we can see the blood splatter.
Carnage cam.
Yes. So the air conditioning system was empty of pressure, but it was still full of mineral oil because it's an airflow system. So we just decided to decorate the garage with mineral oil. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that if your air conditioning hose isn't long enough, well, you just put a double-ended hose barb in it, and then your hose is longer. Because that's 70s logic.
Factory.
Oh, yeah, sorry. To quote Vice Chair Garage, it's factory. What is I have to bring your fellers in here to see this. We found another splice. Check this out.
Factory job.
It's another factory connection here. Oh, it's not focused. Focus. There we go. Another factory job installing this transmission cooler. You just put a compression fitting on there and then a hose barb and then your hose. I guess they didn't just put the hose over the line. Is that better? I don't know. I can't imagine what this other side looks like. Oh, it's the same. You can't see it. It's on the battery tray, but it's the same. Break this up. We should probably just let these come back as we pull the deal off. This, I can't imagine that this wire works still, but it does.
Oh man, it's been rubbing.
Yeah. For 30 years.
What is that for?
That's the turn signal.
Okay.
Light.
So it definitely was not out.
Which side goes out when you hit the brakes?
It's on the back. And the right.
Okay.
Ha. I don't think it's related though. I really don't. But it could be. Alright, what's next? Now we need to make a big mess and drain the radiator. Drain the coolant.
You'll notice that didn't look green.
Oh, yeah, so the previous owner of the vehicle filled up the coolant, something with red, the coolant system. The previous owner of the vehicle filled up the coolant system with red next coolant, which is a little strange for an all-iron engine. And ever since we've had it, I've had it, it's had a head gasket issue, and a guy just doesn't want to buy red coolant. So I did the right thing, mixed the green with the red. So now we have purple. Yeah, purplish, dirty purple. It looks kind of black, but we'll call it purple coolant.
What's the new coolant color that they're coming out with? Black.
Black.
What's cool better?
And then this is a 72 C10. I'm pretty sure in 72 they didn't have coolant overflow in the bottles. And I'm pretty sure this isn't from a 72 C10. And just to tip you off, it looks like, if I had to guess, that this is actually a bottle from a much newer vehicle. It's supposed to have a level sensor right here. But you see, you can't find a level sensor at the store. So you just rip it out, and then you take body adhesive, and you just fill the hole until it doesn't leak anymore. And then you have a coolant overflow bottle that I'm pretty sure is from a Ford. Maybe you guys can let us know. That looks like a Ford cap to me.
Sure does.
We're almost done with our coolant stream. If you guys are looking for a way to drain a radiator, the little coolant overflow bottles from an LS donor, they have the perfect little hose attached to them to connect to the back of your radiator this way, come down, and then dump right into a bucket. So if you got your donor vehicle laying around from your LS swap, snag that hose.
Again with those USB ports.
And like I mentioned, it's slightly rounded, so the wrench fits great.
These are just the lower bolts that are holding the shroud to something.
It's just the.
It's the transmission cooler line.
Yeah.
So you want this wrench instead? I know it fits.
Sure.
The half-inch fits too.
I mean, this
Should fit.
I just can't get it rotated enough to where it's gonna. Is the battery train out of the way?
No. Actually, maybe. I just don't know how it hooks to the truck.
Yeah, I
No, it
can't.
hooks in like 8 different places.
I can't get it rotated enough to get it on the line.
Well,
On the line. I'm gonna leave this to a professional.
you're in.
So cut the line? What?
Honestly, you probably should just cut this fucking line off.
What's that line from Mythbusters? When in doubt, C4.
How'd you even get it on there?
I didn't.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
get this out of here.
I can't rotate it enough to get it on.
Back to the Harbor Freight tool.
See what you got in here?
Oh, I got it loose. I'll be dead. All right, let's pull the radiator out. Tip it your way a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, it needs to. There we go. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
There's a lot of slush in there.
yeah, but it's not leaking out, right? Nope. Keep my side high. Higher.
Lower yours. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay,
There's a shroud in the way.
good. Bring it over the bucket. That tech op did a great job of draining it.
Yeah. Oh, that's 3 times. We better stop.
If you shake it more than 3, you're just playing with it.
Yep.
Radiator out.
Want to use the towel?
All right, I think we have the engine ready to come out now. Hopefully, you always seem to miss something, but we've gone through and removed the air conditioning system, power steering pump's loose, alternator wiring, all that stuff is loose. I pulled the distributor out because it's in the way. I'm gonna put in its place, put on this Dirty Dingo pull plate. We got this on Amazon. We can link it, but it's supposed to fit everything. It definitely fits the LS because we've already put it on there and used it. Fits the LS. It's supposed to fit square bore, spread bore, small block Chevy. It's also supposed to fit big block Chevys, small block Fords, Chryslers, whatever. It's got a bazillion holes in it. It fits everything. So this should go on there, maybe. Yep, it'll fit this one too. So we're good to go there. Transmission's been unbolted. Speedo cable's off, shifter linkage, all that stuff is off. So at this point, we're just gonna dig in and see if we can get this thing out of here and figure out what we didn't unhook yet. Something. I don't know how this is possible. It could be video editing magic, trickery. But we got the engine out and we didn't leave any wires hooked up.
And we didn't break anything.
It doesn't sound right.
No.
It sounds like we edited out the parts where that happened, but it really didn't. I mean, we did totally forget to do anything about the transmission fluid. And so the first gallon just went straight onto the floor. And Nick spent a lot of time on his knees, you know, circular motions. But it's spotless down there. Thank you, sorry. Engine's out. We're ready to start cleaning up the engine bay. We gotta run fuel lines. Drive shaft's gonna come out. Transmission cross member is gonna unbolt so we can put it in a different spot. I think that's gonna move back like 3-4 inches. So we'll do that. Yeah, drive shaft will just come out entirely. We'll have to remeasure it after the new engine and transmission combo go in. What else are we forgetting here? I don't know.
Terminator.
Oh yeah. We're gonna wire up for the Terminator. That's on the list. Probably not gonna happen completely until the clip's back in. But we can get the engine in. We'll get the LS and the 4L80E bolted up to each other. Kind of like this setup is on the floor. We'll, once the fuel lines are done, sneak that in here. Do the engine harness for the Terminator. Transmission harness. We should do the transmission harness on the Terminator before it goes in. Just thinking ahead. We do have a lift, but do it ahead of time. I don't know, there's just a lot of wires and stuff that come out. This is obviously the first time we've done an LS swap. First time we've ever done this on a C10. So it's kind of just, make it up as you go.
See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, just start pulling on wires until things happen. I mean, we're gonna reuse all the stuff, basically. This is your starter sense wire, solenoid wire, temp sensor wire. We'll go over there. Got the oil pressure line. That might be short, but we can get an extension for it.
Well, do we get the Terminator?
Yeah, I want oil pressure sensor on the gauge. I want the gauges to work in the C10.
Oh.
So I'm gonna hook up the original style oil pressure gauge to the side of the C10, like where the oil cooling delete plate is. There's a little hole in it for this. And then the temperature sensor, we're actually gonna take the temp sensor out of the small block, and there's a adapter on this side of the LS for it. So that'll just relocate over there, and that'll work. I said there's a lot of wiring work that has to be done, but it's gonna be done with the front clip back in, the radiator support, because that's where the battery tray is. All the electronics are gonna be mounted to that on this side. So might as well wait till that's back in to do too much. Oh, and the exhaust. We're just gonna cut all the exhaust off right now, and I have a do-it-yourself exhaust kit from Speedway to replace the exhaust. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be a lot of cutting and twisting and pie cuts, and then put it back together and tack it a couple times with the welder. At least we have a lift. That makes it way easier.
And a welder.
Well, yeah. Welding, none of us know how to weld, so that helps. I know how to use a computer, but not a welder.
Well, we've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
we watched it on YouTube. You just, I mean, from what it looks like, you just start welding with the thing. You know the thing.
Yeah.
And then it just looks great when it's done.
Yeah, typically people that have never welded before just start doing nice welds that look like someone's stacking dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time.
Well, and then you can call yourself a fabricator too after you do it. So.
Yeah, because we fabric cobbled with
Right,
exhaust.
exactly.
Pad that resume.
You think? Oh, it's still drinking coolant. You think that's a good thing to put on your resume? Is it like an IT professional? Just put, fabric coblation, welding skills times 30. I don't know. Just make it up as you
You're
go.
level 30?
Yeah, level 30 welder.
Dang it.
You need to grind more.
Yeah.
We should probably spend some time while we're in here too and just kind of clean the
Yeah.
old engine bay. It's got 49 years of grease on it. It looks pretty thick in a certain couple spots. Especially around this engine mount, it's glistening.
Where's that brake clean at?
All over.
Wherever the Berryman's cans are. Sponsor coming.
Barry's next brake clean?
It's carb cleaner.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, for cleaning the carb. And then future videos on PowerShell Garage. Look forward to seeing this small block do something. The bottom end is totally fine. So we'll probably end up, we don't know. The top end's gonna get redone. It's either gonna get fixed up and made to look new again and work new, or we'll get a new heads, a new intake. Well, definitely a new intake. But the heads, we'll see. Depends where the budgets line up and what's more interesting to do, what we haven't done before. Heads are easy. Rebuilding a head is new, or not as easy. It's easy to buy stuff. And then the transmission, I think it looks fully rebuilt to me. Once it's spray painted silver, it'll look rebuilt to everybody else too. And then you just put your brand name on it. Just put PowerShell Garage on a vinyl sticker and
Stage 3.
yeah. Stage
I mean,
6.
based on what I'm seeing, I think all we have to do is touch up the spots that don't have oil on it, so it'll be nice and even.
Yeah, well, somewhere around here I got this bottle of transmission fluid, like in a spray, and we can kind of just mist it till the whole thing looks dark, and it's called painted.
It's custom. It's custom finish.
Yeah.
Several hours later.
There, see? That's easier.
With the rebuild cream. Look at this.
Oh, rebuilt.
Yeah, this is like,
How much would you say you paid the shop to restore this for you?
oh. I mean, a whole new frame, that's a lot.
And we saved like at least $1,000.
I mean, this can, it's like 12 bucks. Can't just be wasting it.
Holding the can the wrong way, I gotta use your thumb.
Use the thumb, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't mind the overspray on the glass. It's fine.
Old stuff.
Yeah.
We're
A wee bit busy.
apparently gonna get high on our own product.
You wanna get high? No, tally the entry code. For what?
We're just talking about fans.
Yeah, some.
We got the fuel sending unit ready to go. This is off a 72 with an automatic transmission, so it's got the 3/8 speed and a quarter return from the factory, or whatever, from the remanufacturing. So we just got some 6AN fittings for those hard lines, cut off the little barbs and put these on. Hopefully they're on tight enough. Felt like it was gonna strip, so we cut it off right there. And then on these returns that are 1/4 inch, they only go into the return, you know, maybe 2 inches back into the tank. So we threw a little extra piece of hose on there and ran it down to the bottom so that it's not frothing the fuel all the time. Otherwise, it's essentially stock or reman sending unit, just with new fittings and a little dipstick for the return. And hopefully that'll do the job.
Getting the tank reinstalled. Got the the filler neck shoved through the hole in the cab, impacting the brackets back on. That lines up.
I wouldn't line that.
Let's not tighten it too hard so your fingers can't adjust it. Doing this handheld, looking through the camera and holding an impact while looking at what you're doing through the camera is definitely the best way to do this.
The handy cam. Is that what they call it? Handy cam?
Yeah.
That looks nice and loose.
Yep. I'm sure it'll.
It'll make a good connection.
Yeah.
Every time I tighten this, it rotates.
Hold his nuts on the screw.
There you go, 2 hands, better. Installed.
Fire it up. That's no engine. Oh.
Forgot the engine.
Nice and blurry.
That was the best.
Got some nice Sony speakers that were tucked under the seat here too.
Those are Sony
Explode. Got the new 6AN lines installed in the tank, and they run down to these existing holes. There's grommets there that we haven't installed yet, but they're ready to go. About to run those up front.
I took an old electrical panel and ripped all the bus bars out of it, and I've had them in my shed for years. And I thought, you know, I really wanted something to build frame for my fuel pump and fuel filters. So use an electrical panel. It actually worked pretty well. So I got a pre-filter here from the Jungle website. It's a real high quality unit. Walbro 392 is the number. It's a 255 liter per hour external pump. It's just like the in-tank one, but you know, not in the tank. And then this is from Speedway. It actually came with the pump. This is like a kit that comes with it, with the Walbro, the fittings, and the fittings for this, and this little can filter. It's supposed to be a 10 micron filter post pump and 100 micron pre pump. And then again, went on the old general website and got some flexi rubber bushings. So I'm hoping that between these rubber bushings, this neoprene sleeve, and these rubber clamps, that the fuel pump won't be super loud, but it probably will be. So we'll just need a louder exhaust to kind of counter that. Gonna end up mounting this to the inside of the frame rail. Probably really hard to see, but a couple of holes here, a couple more here-ish. We're gonna get this mounted to the inside of the frame rail and hopefully have a pump.
Well, they're probably close to 30-ish foot-pounds, which is what that ratchet might be good for. I guess that's the 1/4 inch one, so maybe not.
Click, torqued. Well, the other rubber on the other side, so.
What's the torque spec on this custom thing that you made? Click?
It's 1 click. Hold on. Click. How about that?
Looks good.
It does actually look pretty good.
And you got a little service loop in there too for whatever. What service loop? A drift, I guess, or whatever you want to
This
call it.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of room.
When the drive shaft is fully installed, where's it gonna run? It's not gonna hit those.
No, it's just the way it is, but straight.
Okay.
It won't be any like higher than it is now.
Okay.
This piece is fixed.
Okay.
And these should be, I mean, they're held.
Yeah.
Nice.
These turned out pretty nice. They're ABS. It's a little near the exhaust, so we may want to put a heat shield on that. But, I don't know.
Looks good.
Oh, it's way too short. Every time.
You got a 90-degree AN fitting going up there, yep.
I need some lube. It helps to spray your cameraman with lubricant first. Make sure he's well and slippery.
Huh.
And then these just push right into the hose, and they'll take quite a bit of fuel pressure once they're pushed together. Pretty much just like that. You want to get it so this ring is tight, so you got a little bit further to go before this ring bottoms out against the hose. But that's how you know it's all the way on. There we go. That should be good to go. You know what? It's like 5 millimeters long. I'll take it. That was the feed hose too, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
It was. We got some blessings upon us today.
So we just installed all the bolts between the transmission and the engine, holding it together. Loosely torqued, just to keep everything together.
We're torquing these to 37 foot-pounds. The old Milwaukee got them pretty close. Still close. So according to the internet, which is always right, on the LS engine, which has a newer power steering pump, you can take the larger threaded fitting out of the power steering pump on your small block Chevy take the one out of the LS and just switch them. So we're going to take this out of this power steering pump, see if this one fits in, and then if it does, the original line off the 72 C10 will fit right into here. If not, then we need to find a hose fitting like this to put on the 72 C10 to go inside of the one that's meant for a, whatever, 2002 Silverado. It is also assuming this will even come off. Nope. Need a bigger hammer. So the one on your left here is out of the LS truck engine from it's the 2002 Silverado. This one's out of a 72 C10. You can see they're basically the same on the inside here. But out here they use a different fitting. So this one uses a O-ring type fitting with a barb. I'm not sure what it's called. This one uses an inverted bubble flare, which is different seal. So all we're doing is we're going to put the older style one in so that we get the seal that we want.
This is the Terminator X
Yes.
wiring harness and well, all the wires that are going to be ran into the cab, which just cut a nice hole, which you saw in the previous footage. Everything's routing through
Nice
a
hole.
yeah, nice hole, yeah, cut professionally into a 3D printed I don't know what you want to call that, plate or whatever that'll be screwed into the floor. It'll make sense here in a minute. But
You don't have to make sense of it. It's just sometimes it's just too strange for words. This will also move the CAN interface into the truck, into the cab, I mean. Because on right here on this harness, there's a CAN interface. You can plug different things into that. Okay, well that actually turned out pretty well. I guess the big boy can go on the right. Seems like it wants to. Little guy on the left. So this plate, I don't have my screwdriver. It's going to organize the wire loom. We're going to seal this down with RTV, hopefully. But then the idea here is that these cover pieces go on and form a decent seal around the wiring. And then I'll probably put some foam tape around the wire here also. Definitely a tight fit.
first time after LS 6.0 swap. No leaks so far. Is the heater working? Nice. Oh my god, it's happening. He's smiling.
And it's really carefully smiling.
When's the Pro Charger arrive?
Alright, the C10 LS swap project is done. It's actually been done for about 2 months, and I've just been working on a shakedown, trying to figure out anything that may still be wrong with the vehicle or needs to be fixed, and we're pretty much there. So what you just saw probably was us driving the vehicle for the first time. Got out and drove it, and let me tell you, it tried to start on the second try. We drove it around, did the whole engine break-in. That's pretty much all done, and it's been running like a champ. The first week we had it, I had to change the thermostat. Then when we put in there, we used one of those swivel neck thermostat housings, and it didn't seal at all. So I ended up having to replace the thermostat immediately. But other than that, it's been solid. Got a lot of new things to come. We're going to do different gears in the rear end. We'll do a pause traction, because right now it's a one-wheel wonder. Probably 373 gears, something more oriented to the new transmission it has. Definitely going to be doing vintage air. Probably going to be 3 to 6 months because of the supply chain, but definitely doing vintage air. Let's see. We're also going to do a cruise control unit. So if you guys have seen some of the other people who have adapted the cruise control from like a 2002 Silverado or some sort of like an LS donor vehicle, we're going to take the cruise control from the donor and adapt it into this vehicle as well. That'll be something to see on the list. The only thing that's happened since you guys have seen it, we got the speedometer working. It's a Arduino powered speedometer. I'll link that down in the description. You guys can see there's a video and some technical information if you're nerdy and you want to see how that was done. But that's all I got, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it, and I hope to see you again really soon.